Trust in a Digital Business by Alex Maddox, Sujinder Tung, Adam Parker and Edward Gray. The 4 foundations of trust and security. Authentication is a key issue when it comes to trust. You must always verify that parties are who they say they are when it comes to a transaction. An example of this in the real world would be NatWest Secure Pay, which directs you to a secure page in order for you to complete your transaction. Confidentiality. This is about warranting that specific data is only revealed to parties who have a legitimate need to know it or access to it. Integrity. Ensuring that data on the host system or in transmission are not created, intercepted, modified or deleted illicitly. An example of this going wrong would be the Ashley Madison hack, in which thousands of people attempting to have affairs online had their data leaked. Non-repudiation. If a party to some transaction or communication later denies that it's ever happened, some mechanism is in place to facilitate dispute resolution. It can be obtained through a variety of ways. Firstly, the use of digital signatures, as they function as a unique identifier for an individual, just as a written signature would. Secondly, confirmation services, as they allow for the creation of a digital receipt, which can indicate the messages were sent or received. And finally, the use of timestamps. Timestamps contain the date and time of which a document was composed, and thus proves that a document existed at a certain time.
The foundation of trust will permeate every aspect of your company, the people, the products they produce, and the corporate culture. This is why we consider trust to be a non-negotiable trait. Trust is generally built up over time. If a customer has a negative experience with a business, they will be more inclined to use another business to cater for their wants and needs in the future. Most digital businesses have started to use social media to respond to consumers. This has been done to try and humanize the business so the corporation looks less intimidating, has more of a personality, and has more interaction with potential customers. This is a strategy used by digital businesses to gain trust. The basic UK legislation that digital businesses will need to consider are as follows. Consumer Protection and Consumer Rights Act 2015 allows a cooling off period and general consumer contract law in terms of how you supply goods and services via terms and conditions of purchases on the site. These laws are set in place to allow consumers the right to fight back against abusive business practices. These laws are designed to hold sellers of goods and services accountable when they seek to profit by taking advantage of a consumer's lack of information or bargaining power. If a consumer is taken advantage of, they will feel violated and therefore will not trust a digital business that has taken advantage of them in the future, resulting in bad publicity, court action, fines and legal fees, and indefinitely the loss of the customer. The Data Protection Act is a very serious piece of legislation that needs to be followed, especially if you'll be obtaining and using personal data and sensitive personal data relating to social, economic, health and financial details. If you want to send direct marketing, your digital business will have to acknowledge the Marketing and Advertising Law, generally Committee of Advertising Practice. This is enforced by the ASA, who create all the advertising codes that need to be followed for the UK. Naturally, trust is built up by the consumer putting faith into a business when offering their details or purchasing a product or service from a business. Privacy regulations, including cookies, are a massive part of trust within a digital business, as it shows that the business is using their personal data correctly and respecting their privacy. Recently, a number of cyber attacks have happened on digital businesses, and privacy has been abused when companies such as Facebook have abused cookie laws. A recent event has unfolded. The Belgian Privacy Commission have taken Facebook to the Supreme Court over allegations that Facebook was abusing its cookie laws to track non-users of the social networking site just by them searching Facebook-related content on Google. The Facebook-related Google search then places a data cookie on the user's browser. This cookie then accesses private website history and then directs to the third-party ads at the non-user who have not agreed to the terms and conditions of Facebook. This scandal has damaged the trust between Facebook non-users, who may have eventually joined the social networking site in the future. This reminds digital businesses to be aware of intellectual property in terms of how you protect your own members and how you use third-party content. The Electronic Commerce Regulations Act 2002 was introduced to clarify and harmonise the rules of online businesses throughout Europe, with the aim of boosting consumer confidence. Retailers and service providers must provide the following information to consumers when conducting business via electronic means. The terms and conditions under which a contract is made means that information must be available to the consumer in a way that can be reproduced and stored. Prices must be clear and state whether tax or shipping costs are included. The name of the service provider, its email address and geographic address must be accessible. Acknowledgement of the order by electronic means and information on how to amend input errors made during the order process must be made clear. If it is a company, the company's registration number and place of registration must be accessible. Membership details, including registration number of any trade or professional association of which the service provider is now a member, must be stored. Let us take a quick look at what PricewaterhouseCoopers feels creates trust within a digital business. Let us take a look at the value proposition for trust. Let us take a look at the value proposition for trust. Wants. The customer wants a reliable service or product. The customer wants a proven track record. The customer wants the digital business to be very responsive. The customer also wants a fair deal when purchasing the digital business's product or service. Needs. The customer needs confidentiality and for the digital business to comply with the Data Protection Act. The customer needs the correct information about the product or service. If the digital business fails to provide this, the trust will be lost and they will be breaking the Consumer Protection and Consumer Rights Act 2015. But most of all, the customer needs honesty. If the digital business is deceitful, this will make it impossible for the trust to be built between the business and the consumer. And lastly, we have fears. The customer fears that their data may be sold on, which would abuse third-party and cookie laws. They also fear having their financial and personal information stolen by a cyber attack because the security has not been strong enough. An example of this is the TalkTalk cyber hack, which was mentioned earlier. The customer fears health implications due to an unsafe product or service provided by the digital business.
We will now be moving on to transference. One of the issues that can come up with transference and trust is with word of mouth. There can be more of a problem now because of social media, so it is easier for people to talk to each other. A study from Deloitte in 2014 found that 75% of online Americans say product information found on social channels influences shopping behaviour and enhances brand loyalty. The next area is with media. People would be told about what a company does through TV and newspaper ads, and they would usually take this on board and believe and listen to it. But after consumers' trust being violated through both the government and corporations, it has made consumers more wary of the transference of media, and this has created issues for digital businesses because it's all done online. Appearance is the next area when it comes to transference. Appearance is an issue because it's how the company appears. For example, if you look at PayPal, they appear to be a friendly and professional with the blue font and the white background, which is quite simple. However, if it was changed to a black font with a bright pink background, you may not trust them to handle your money.
The next area is with website ranking and search engines. When a person searches for new shoes, they are unlikely to go to a very obscure looking website that is unheard of, as they may think it is untrustworthy or maybe some kind of scam. They would be more likely to click on one of the first few results, as this is probably something that they've heard of and therefore will seem more trustworthy. The next area is links from trusted websites. There's more chance of you following a link from Facebook, for example, as this is more likely to be a legit link, as it's a well-known social media site that millions of people use and it would appear to be safe, rather than going and following a link from an adult website which may have malware or appear to be fake.
Marketing mediums include a blend of options companies have at their disposal during the promotional phase of marketing. While traditional media, such as TV and newspapers, remain prominent, 21st century integrated marketing strategies have emphasized the use of interactive real-time engagement through the new media. The internet, email, and mobile devices fill a new media category referred to as digital or interactive. This began with the emergence of the web in the mid-1990s. Banner ads, streaming audio and video, and corporate websites are common web-based media messages. Email serves as a direct touchpoint with prospects and existing customers. Companies often send regular newsletter updates. Mobile devices have opened the door for growth in mobile ad messaging. It can be difficult for a new e-commerce company to gain traction in the marketplace. Most of the difficulty boils down to the challenge of earning the trust of potential customers who aren't interacting with you or your inventory in a tangible offline way. Although many people appreciate the convenience and speed of online shopping, they may hesitate to buy from an unfamiliar company. Fortunately, e-commerce businesses have several opportunities to win over potential customers. The first opportunity comes when a customer sees one of your advertisements for the first time. It's crucial to include key information in your ads, such as number of orders shipped, number of customers served, and your customer service hours. If you accept PayPal as a payment option, you should mention it. Another opportunity comes when a customer is browsing your website. You should only use high-quality images for your product pages and lookbooks, and you may want to consider adding customer reviews or testimonials, a staff page with pictures, and even a live chat feature to help out customers who need assistance in real time. Finally, when a customer is making a purchase, it's a good idea to say where an order is shipping from, and it's better to display a delivery date rather than a shipping date. Security badges, such as those from McAfee Secure and VeriSign, will also inspire confidence.